Thank you very much accepting our invitation to attend in this site event. Our site event today focuses on discrimination and racism against minority nations in Iran. This discrimination impacts various sectors, including labor, education, the environment, the economy, society, culture, and others. I must emphasize that minority nation and ethnic minority in Iran are often victims of our discrimination and racism. There may be a few expedient clauses against racism in the Iranian legislation, but even those little clauses are not enforced. As such, to this day, no one in Iran has been effectively prosecuted for the act of racism. Azerbaijani women and all the minority women and girls in Iran are disproportionately impacted by the poverty, ethnic prejudice, unemployment, social exclusion, and discrimination. Today, our speaker will discuss the various forms of discrimination faced by the minority nation in Iran. Following their presentation, you will have the opportunity to ask many questions you may have. Thank you. I am going to give the floor to Mr. Razmi Michel about the education, linguistic and educational discrimination against Azerbaijanis of Iran. Monsieur, s'il vous plaît. It will be on. It will be in our discussion. It will be in French, but you have a translation by Channel 2. Yeah. Thank you.
Mesdames, Messieurs, Madame la Présidente, selon le principe 3, 30 et 43 de la Constitution de la République islamique d'Iran, fournir une éducation équitable et gratuite est devoir du gouvernement et ne doit pas être laissé au secteur privé. Cependant, selon l'ancien adjoint du ministre de l'Éducation, cela fait 32 ans que le ministre de l'Éducation et l'organisation de programmes et de budgets ont adopté une approche
Linguistic and educational discrimination in Iran.
Le traitement officiel d'éducation comme une marchandise a détruit.
According to Articles 3, 30 and 43 of the Constitution of the Islamic Republic of Iran, it is the duty of the government to provide free and fair education, and it should not be commercialized or turned into a business. But according to the former deputy of the Ministry of Education, it has been 32 years since the Ministry of Education, the Departments of Education Programme and Budgeting, have a commercial perspective on education. Officials having a commercial view of education has destroyed the educational justice in Iran. In non-Persian provinces, including Azerbaijan, due to poverty, families do not have enough money to send their children to private schools. Currently, 80% of schools in Iran are government-run and 20% are private. Families do not have enough money to send their children to private schools. The lack of teachers or the use of cleric student teachers who have not received any teacher training affects the quality of teaching in public schools. As a result, only 7% of public school diploma students enter universities, and 93 of those accepted are from the expensive private schools, which means that only the children of the wealthy have access to higher education. Out of 58 countries in the world, Iran ranks 52nd in educational quality. This problem shows the unfair situation and unequal distribution of quality education. Prohibition of education in mother tongue in Iran is the biggest discrimination against non-Persians, who make up more than 2/3 of the country's population. This discrimination is more severe in Azerbaijan because the authorities of the Islamic Republic view education as a means of national security regarding the issues of Azerbaijan, especially the Azerbaijani Turkish language. Today in Azerbaijan, defenders of the mother tongue are accused, branded and condemned of pan-Turkism and separatism. The Islamic Republic officially opposes the implementation of the 2030 document of the United Nations and does not implement Article 4 of the document, and instead tries to expand religious education in Iran schools. Article 15 of the Constitution recognises mother tongue education, and Article 19 says Iranian people of every nation, and no matter what tribe they belong to, have equal rights regardless of colour, race, language, etc., which will not be a reason for privilege. Despite all this, in 45 years, Article 15 and Article 19 of the Constitution have not been implemented by the Islamic Republic. Education in mother tongue is forbidden, and open discrimination is applied to non-Persians. The equipped schools in Tehran and some of the central provinces are in no way comparable to the basic prefabricated and run-down schools in the villages, and educational justice is not respected at all. According to the Director General of West Azerbaijan Schools, there are 346 container schools in West Azerbaijan alone. Container schools do not have enough space and necessary educational materials for education. The government does not recognise the cultural identity and national language of the people of these areas and does not respect the legal equality of education. The Islamic Republic officially opposes the implementation of the 2030 document of the United Nations and instead tries to expand religious education in Iranian schools. The necessary budget for hiring teachers is not allocated. Many classes have 40 students, and according to the research of the Islamic Council of Education Centre, at least 176,000 new teachers must be hired to open all classes. According to official statistics, the low quality of education in public schools has caused 20% of students who enter high school to be unable to read and write, which is due to the lack of education in the mother tongue. The grade point average of the students at the end of elementary school in West Azerbaijan is one of the lowest in Iran, and 30% of students drop out at the end of elementary school. Girls drop out of school more than boys because there are no high schools for girls in all regions, and mixed schools are prohibited in Iran. In Iran, all-round religious ideological censorship is applied to the educational system, cultural and artistic productions. But in addition to these restrictions, there is also language censorship in Azerbaijan. The Azerbaijani Turkish language is a phonetic language, and the words are written as they are pronounced, but the agents of the Islamic Republic do not allow books written with phonetic spelling to be published, and insist that the contents be written with Persian spelling and pronunciation, which are grammatical disorders in the Turkish language. When Azerbaijani intellectuals want to write their works in correct Turkish at their own expense in order to protect their national language, the censorship department, which is the Ministry of Islamic Guidance, does not allow them to be published and insists that Turkish content should be written with Farsi spelling and pronunciation. It is necessary to end linguistic and cultural discrimination in Azerbaijan, Iran. Education in the mother tongue, the Turkish language in Azerbaijan, should be recognised at all educational levels. The government should create standard, hygienic and safe schools instead of the shantytown and container schools in Azerbaijan.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur Razmi.